Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you guys are here. It has been like 4 years since I've done a week of workouts video. I think I've only ever done like 1 week of workouts video, but we're here. Okay, if you guys follow me over on Instagram, which I'll put somewhere up here, or TikTok even, because I've talked about this there as well, I feel like I'm finally, after years and years and years, am feeling the spark for the gym again. For a couple years I've been kind of like burnt out with the gym, just kind of going about the motions, but not really enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, any of the things that I preach. Like, I always preach for you guys to find movement that makes you happy, that brings you joy, and makes you consistent. And with weightlifting, I just got really freaking bored. I beat myself up a lot over finding a different hobby, a different form of movement, and I discovered running, which, as you guys know, I started at the beginning of this year, and I've really loved it. And ironically, it's actually made me like reignite a spark for the gym again. So this week marks like 5 weeks of consistently going to the gym for 4 times a week, which is not something that I could say that I've done for years now. Like, typically after the 4-week mark, I just kind of phase out because I just get so burnt out. But with me kind of like mixing different forms of movement, I've truly learned to just enjoy the process again and reignite that spark for weightlifting. This specific split is one that I've done for years, for one, but two, these set of workouts are just ones that I've really been liking. Like, I don't get bored at all. I'll kind of switch things here and there depending on what's available for me, if the gym is super busy or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, these are the workouts that I'm doing. So once again, it's a 4-day split. It is completely gym based, so you would need machines, a squat rack, bench, and today we are hitting a pull day. So I had to pull out the Oner Active all-in-one, the strappy crossback all-in-one. I haven't worn this in a hot minute, but I've been feeling really confident, you know what I'm saying? So like, might as well whip it out. Enough yapping, let's get into the gym.
Bro, I better not catch you guys skipping your warm-ups. If you feel attacked, you should, because that used to be me. Not that I would skip the entire warm-up, but I definitely took it for granted and did not spend nearly enough time stretching before my workouts. We are essentially just trying to get the blood pumping and giving our bodies the heads up that we're about to put it under some stress. So these are the stretches that I typically do. The only thing that you'll see missing here is a dowel, because I could not for the life of me find one at this gym. I don't know why. I feel like they usually have one, but whatever. I always stretch with a dowel, but this will do for now. And after warming up for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, it's time to get into this workout. So this workout is very much back heavy, and we are starting off with some lat pull downs. I see this as a beginner friendly way to work up to doing pull-ups, because that's what I used to do instead of lat pull downs. But I feel like I've definitely plateaued with my pull-ups. So what better way to build strength than to do some heavy lat pull downs? Similar but different. Obviously, lat pull downs are seated and therefore more controlled. So if you're somebody who wants to work up to doing your first pull-up, I would highly recommend doing lat pull downs to start, and then moving on to assisted pull-up machine, and then banded pull-ups, so on and so forth. But here we're thinking of pulling down with our elbows, keeping our shoulders tucked in and chest up. Next up, we have one of my favorite exercises ever, single arm kneeling cable rows. Of course, you can do this seated on the bench, as intended. However, try this variation and I promise you your lats will be screaming. By being further back, that means that the cable is also further back, and therefore you're essentially under tension for the entire movement. The stretch is absolutely insane. I love this exercise so much, and I never do a back day without it. For our next back movement, we have bent over barbell rows. I sometimes sub this out for a T-bar row as well, but I mean, all a back day is rowing or pulling anyway. So do with that information what you will. But here you'll see me hinge at the hips and put my weight onto my heels, rowing towards my stomach. You're not throwing the weight up, so don't get sloppy with it. Your chest should be forward, core tucked, and back should be in a neutral position. So imagine that you're trying to pull with your elbows instead of your shoulders, traps, or arms. And the last back exercise that we're doing is a lat pullover. Honestly, I used to hate doing these because they'd make my shoulders pop, and it just always felt like they're getting dislocated. You know what I mean? But the key to this exercise is in, once again, the elbows, honestly, as well as keeping your arms completely still. Again, instead of pulling down with your arms, think of swinging your elbows back in a swooping motion and ending at your stomach. Once you start doing this, the movement gets a lot more natural. You're not just pulling down in a straight line, but once you think of it as like literally a swooping motion, then that should help a lot. And lastly, we have biceps. I only showed one exercise here because we ran out of time, but normally I like to do cable curls and end off with 2 burnout sets of easy bar curls for 20 reps. Honestly, my priority during pull days is always going to be back. I throw in a couple bicep movements here and there to complete the workout, but by no means am I aiming for crazy strength when I train biceps. So that's the full workout.
Hey, happy another day. Today, I don't even know what today is compared to the last time I worked out, but today we are hitting hammies and glutes. I have a cute little like pink and brown number on. Y'all know me, I'm a sucker for a pink and a brown moment. If you guys watched my color mix and match 101 video, I'll put it somewhere up here for you guys, but I love me mixing and matching colors, and I feel like brown and pink are just one of those like classic combinations. Anywho, training hammies and glutes today. I feel like today's gonna be a crazy day. Honestly, this week has kind of been like a deload week. However, every single time I train glutes, we go a little bit crazy. You know what I'm saying? So very excited for this workout.
So my leg day warm-ups are a lot more extensive, but I can always do more. I love me a good hip flexor stretch and do these pretty religiously. Do not hesitate to pause for a couple seconds when you're stretching instead of just going through the movement, because the pain is essentially your body telling you, hey, we don't like this. This muscle was stressed out, girl, from the last workout. So by pausing for a second and taking deep breaths while allowing for your muscle to stretch, it's able to hopefully relieve some of that tension that you've been carrying with you since your last leg day. After we're done stretching on the mat, you know I gotta do some leg swings, because what are leg day workouts without some leg swings? Similar in idea to the arm swings from my upper body warm up. Here we are just telling our body to wake up because it's time to get to work. So first we are starting out with some good old RDLs. I've been enjoying doing these on the Smith machine as opposed to dumbbells or barbells due to the fixed nature of the Smith machine bar. You don't have to think too much at all about the dumbbell or barbell path here, because the Smith machine bar takes care of that for you. I truly do also feel my glutes activating so much more when I do these on the Smith machine as opposed to the other two variations. We are focusing here on hinging at the hips, imagining that we're closing a door with our glutes while also bending a slightly exaggerated amount to therefore make this a glute bias RDL. Think of this as a middle ground between squats and regular RDLs. And next up, we have some good old hip thrusts. Feel free to do whatever variation you'd like. I'm turning my toes slightly outwards here, but my shins are perpendicular to my thighs. Knees are not over my toes. And a trick for this is to actually line up one of your feet to where your knees are, and then using that as a guide to then, put your other leg up. And that typically is where that perpendicular line will be at whenever you start to go into the movement. We are keeping our core engaged and tucked inwards, coming down and then using our glutes and hamstrings to push ourselves back up, squeezing at the top. After this, I need a break, girl. So we are doing some seated leg curls. I honestly have a love-hate relationship with this exercise because my back is always finding a way to arch when the weight gets too heavy. I really do have to focus on engaging my core here and letting my hamstrings do all of the work. We are doing 10 reps here at our normal weight and then dropping the weight in half and then supersetting with single leg curls. You heard me right. This superset is a crazy one, but it'll be worth it. Last but not least, this superset alone has been the secret to any glute growth that I've had. Weighted back extensions, superset with body weight glute hyperextensions. The difference between the two lies in the muscle group used and how your body is positioned. Back extensions, which is this one right here, require for you to have a straight back and you're relying on your hamstrings to pull your body weight up. Glute hyperextensions, however, use your glutes to pull yourself up and your back is bent, like completely limp. Imagine as if you're like dead weight from your hips and up, like you're literally just dead weight. And then here you're going to use solely your glutes to pull yourself up. And yeah, that's the workout.
Hey, welcome to my push day today. This is my second and final upper body day of the week. So with this split that I am doing and have been doing, I typically do 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days. And so it's a push day and a pull day. Pull day is typically like back and biceps pulling movements, whereas pushing movements are reserved for push day. And the muscle groups that are most associated with that are chest, triceps, and shoulders. So yeah, we're gonna have fun today. We're doing another outdoor workout. I could drive over to Los, but it's way too far away from me. So we're just gonna have to endure the heat outside and hope that, it's still gonna be a good workout. I am wearing some new Oner Active. This is the Easy Lift Halter Bralette. Honestly, I have taken a liking to this bra a lot more recently. In my smaller size, because I'm only wearing this for like an hour and a half or so, the neck strap doesn't bother me as much. Like, it's still bothering me right now. That's a hole if I've ever seen one. You know what I'm saying? It is a little bit tight. However, this is a smaller size because it is a wider neck. And y'all already know how I size for wider neck tops anyway. So with me only wearing this for like 2 hours tops, I can endure it. I don't have any gaping or anything, but this is blackberry purple. I paired it with orchid purple. I mean, I don't even know why I'm showing you guys. You're gonna see this whenever I get inside, but let's get into it because the faster I finish this workout, the faster I can edit this and then get this video up for you guys.
So I didn't show the warm up here because it's the same exact warm up that I did for my pull day, but just with the dowel, because once again, I went to the one gym in town that apparently doesn't have a freaking dowel. But we are starting off with bench press. Typically I go to the actual benches and use a regular barbell, but today we're using the Smith machine due to the gym being a little bit busier. I already know that I'm gonna get some questions about the arch in my back, and yes, this is in fact proper form. I've benched plenty of times with my back completely flat if I'm looking to recruit solely my chest muscles. However, arching my back is just a byproduct of me stabilizing my shoulders and my upper back. Doing so allows for me to lift way heavier, but I also feel like I can use way more leg drive this way whenever the weight does get to be a bit heavy. But tips here include tucking your elbows inward instead of flaring them straight out, and I typically aim for the bar to hit my nipple, in lack of better terms. Not your neck, not your sternum, but straight nip. Next up, we are doing a shoulder superset with lateral raises straight into plate front raises. I can't even lie to y'all, I haven't done a single dumbbell shoulder press in maybe a year now. I just hate doing them, and there are definitely other ways to get a nasty shoulder pump, and this superset is it. Imagine coming up with your elbows instead of your wrists. Oftentimes, I see beginners dragging the dumbbell up with their wrists over their elbows, and that creates a lot of tension in your wrists, so definitely make sure that your elbows are up. Plated front raises are self-explanatory, you just want to pick the weight up. Last shoulder movement that we're doing are face pulls. I know this is a pull movement on a push day, however, I just love doing this exercise, so screw it. Face pulls target your traps and rear delts, and I honestly hate doing these standing up because I get pretty unstable, so sitting down alleviates this issue entirely. You're going to want to pull the attachment towards your eyes, like right at the center of your eyes, and then you'll feel it in your traps and then your rear delts, like I said. Next up, we have straight bar tricep push downs. I love doing these with a straight bar attachment way more than the ropes. The stability of the bar on both my hands allow for me to activate my triceps way more. I also like doing these slightly bent over instead of standing straight. I've just noticed that when I stand straight and start to get to the more difficult reps, that my shoulders actually round inwards. So bending over alleviates that entirely because my elbows are in a fixed position and I'm pulling the weight down instead of towards my body, if that makes sense. And last but not least, we have weighted tricep dips. I love ending my push days with this movement because I love the tricep pump I get due to it. You're essentially sitting back into the movement, and ideally your back wouldn't be behind your shoulders. Your arms are in a perpendicular position and you're just sitting into it basically and using your triceps to push yourself back up.
Bro, I'm so stupid. So this is the same day that I'm doing my hammies and glutes workout, right? Except for I'm in a whole different outfit. This is the lore behind this freaking video. I had all the intention to hit hammies and glutes today. And that I did, okay? And that I did. But I realized, so in full transparency, I have like deliverables for Oner Active on YouTube. Typically, it's like 2 YouTube videos a month. There typically have also been like 2 launches in a month. And so if there isn't a launch in a month, then I'll sub it out for another video, such as like the color mix and match video or the, what was it, like styling my activewear video that I did a couple months back, things like that. So because we only had 1 launch this month, a lot of things were pushed back and whatnot. Like I had already planned my whole content schedule, didn't work out to where we had 2 launches this month. So my other Oner video for this month for my deliverables is this week of workouts. However, for some reason, I thought that Friday was the 31st, aka the last day of the month, aka the last day for me to hit my deliverables and whatnot. Turns out it's tomorrow. And so I wore the other outfit that you guys saw, the petal pink unified like ultra micro bralette, as well as the espresso straight legs for hammies. I brought this set because I was going to take some content in this like racing green set because there's a little surprise for you guys next week. By the time this video goes up, there's a little surprise. So I was going to do some content in that, just take some pictures, whatever. Turns out this was perfect because I had to do like a quad day as well in order to, you know, finish out the week of workouts and whatnot. So this entire workout was modified. It was supposed to be full on hammies and glutes, but because of me messing up and not realizing that the 31st was tomorrow, I had to basically combine my hammies and glutes and my quads and glutes workout into one gigantic leg day workout so I can at least like film the quad day for YouTube. If you guys didn't already notice, I've been filming like 1 set of each exercise for the other upper body days and whatnot, right? So essentially same thing here. I did 2 sets of every single exercise to film for my hammies and glutes day and for my quads and glutes day. So I did 10 exercises, 20 sets. Oh my God. And I thought I was going to get away with it. Everybody else was so like into their workout that they wouldn't notice me changing into another outfit. Some guy, I was setting up for step ups and he walks up to me and he was like, I'm sorry for bothering you. I just have a question. Do you have a twin or am I going crazy? And I didn't get it at first. I was like, no, I don't have a twin. And he was like, oh my God, I must be going crazy because I could have sworn I saw you here just now, but you were wearing a different outfit. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I did not think that I would have gotten caught, but I got, you guys. Oh my gosh. Whatever, bro. I explained it to him. So he was like, oh, so you're filming for YouTube? Like, are you doing the workouts, or are you just filming the exercises? And I was like, nah, don't get it twisted. I don't film my workouts and not work out. I'm doing the workout. It's just a huge leg day. 2 sets of every single freaking exercise and an outfit change just to kind of like switch it up or whatever. So I realized I didn't even need to take content in this fit because the whole content was me doing my whole freaking quad and glute day. That's the content. I'm freaking dead. Like, how crazy is it that I actually brought this outfit just intending to take some pictures for the surprise next week? Turns out it was perfect for this little like mishap or whatever. Yeah, I just thought that was super embarrassing, but also really freaking funny. Anyway, here's the workout.
Looking back at this workout, it was so goofy, bro, because my booty cheeks are still so sore from that massive leg day. Again, I didn't show me warming up here because this warm up is the same one that I do for hammies and glutes, but we are starting off with barbell squats. Feel free to modify this to whatever variation you'd like, but I honestly myself haven't even barbell squatted much until this past month. I have a love-hate relationship with it because it just takes so much out of me. But you'll see here that I'm keeping my chest in a neutral position, core is engaged and resetting after every rep, and my shoulders are rolled back, simply supporting the weight. When going down into the movement, I'm pushing my knees outwards, and you'll see that my toes are also pointed outwards. I have longer femurs for my height, so squatting with my toes straight is not suited for my anatomy. If squats feel weird for you guys, I would highly suggest looking into your femur length and how that affects your squats. Next up, we have the dreaded Bulgarian split squats. They are truly the worst. Here I am making sure that my knees don't go over my toes, making sure that my shins are perpendicular to the floor at a 90-degree angle. Aim to keep your chest neutral, shoulders down and tucked inwards, and core engaged. You're going to want to sit back into the movement in a diagonal motion. I wish I got this in a different angle, honestly, but you really are sitting back into your glutes and your weight should be in your heel. Next up, we have some good old leg extensions. The break is very much needed at this point, which is honestly hilarious considering that my hammies and glutes day is also programmed pretty similarly to this. Like, seated movements are my third movement after the crazy ones. But no single leg superset here, thankfully. I mean, but you could absolutely add it if you really wanted to. Next up, we have Smith machine step ups. First of all, can we just take a second for my glutes because hello? But this is by far my favorite step up variation that I've done so far. If there's one thing about me, I honestly prefer quality muscle activation and engagement over balance and stability sometimes. Like, sue me. Smith machine step ups truly take the balance portion out of it because you're solely focused on the movement. The bar should be on the same side as your working leg, and you're simply going to place the bar on your shoulder and perform the movement as usual. Chest neutral, core tucked and engaged, sitting back into it and digging your heels into the seat. I promise you this one is going to hurt so good. And last but not least, the last exercise of this entire video, the same back extension and glute hyperextension superset. I do not go a single leg day without doing it, and yes, I performed 2 sets for the hammies and glutes portion of this, and then 2 sets for this impromptu quads workout too, and that's how much I love doing this, if y'all needed a testament.
And I'm back to close out this freaking video. Hope that you guys enjoyed that quad day. That was supposed to be my Friday workout, but got pushed to this ultra massive like leg day. I will say though, my legs feel juicy. They feel crazy. That was a crazy workout. I would never do it again, but it was a crazy leg pump. Anywho, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, took some things away from it, found it informative, educational. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I've done, you know, any type of video like this. So I hope that you guys receive it well. This is truly the split and the exercises and everything that I've been doing for the past couple months as I've found my spark for it again, like I spoke about at the beginning of this video. I think I've just been enjoying my workouts a lot more, having a lot more fun with it, which is why I felt inspired to film something like this, because I wouldn't film this if I was just doing sporadic workouts, like just working out willy-nilly, not really having a set schedule, things like that. Again, hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you end up doing the split. That would be awesome if you guys did. Comment down below if you do, how you like it. Like, subscribe, all the things. Follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at TracyBFit for more content on the daily, and I will see you guys very, very soon for another video. So, bye.